So I'm out here visiting in San Francisco, and I got to be honest with y'all. I keep checking the news to see if Donald Trump is still with us. And the last time I checked, he's still hanging in there. And according to him, he feels better than ever. And that right there is a giant red flag to me because Donald Trump is such a liar. There's no way I would believe anything that he's got to say. And him saying that he feels better than ever makes me say he's probably hiding something really serious. But it really got me thinking about our lives and the way we go about choosing to live it and how we're going to be remembered when we're gone. And Donald Trump, you know for a fact, has been keeping an eye on the internet. He may be avoiding the press at the moment. That's another red flag to me, the fact that this guy won't get in front of the press because he's never missed the opportunity to get in front of a camera. But you know he's sitting back and he's watching the internet and he's watching how people are reacting to the possibility of him passing away. And I want to start with his own followers. Have y'all noticed something? I don't really see a whole lot of people out here like really concerned and worried, like, oh, we're very worried about Donald Trump. Oh, we want to make sure that he's okay. Oh, it would be a travesty if he was to pass away. They're not really saying that. Again, it's always just about owning us and it's always about criticizing Joe Biden. So, what I'm mainly seeing from his supporters isn't, oh, we hope he's okay. We hope he does well. We hope he lives to be 100. They're not saying that as much as it's just like, oh, the liberals are making this up. He's fine. He's perfectly okay. And you can take one look at the guy and you can see clearly that he is not perfectly okay. So he has to be looking at his followers and going, you know, you guys really don't give a shit about me. You just care about owning the liberals because you're not sitting here wishing me well necessarily. You're just trying to punch down at liberals and go back and talk about Joe Biden's health. Everybody else, on the other hand, is like me, just checking their phone to see when the moment comes. And there's people out there that would say that's cold hearted. But again, it's the life that Donald Trump has lived that has caused people to react this way to the possibility of something being wrong with him. People aren't usually this heartless. That's truth. People usually aren't. A lot of people will sit out when someone passes away, but people won't on this one. They will absolutely rain down their feelings about it. And a lot of people will say they're being heartless when the time comes. And all I will say is Donald Trump is the most heartless human being that we've ever seen. He's the most heartless human being that was ever gave a position of power. And we saw him abuse that power like nothing else. And we have saw him absolutely just walk all over our Constitution, all over our rule of law, and all over people's rights. And we saw more rights stripped away from people under his presidency than we've ever seen. It's been the most divisive time in American history because we've never been able to get down to the facts of anything because we have a president that feeds a group of people who don't give a damn about the facts. And what we've done for the last 10 years is sit here and try to bring the facts and bring the truth and bring the evidence. And we think that will be enough for them, but it's not. It's never enough. Nothing we say, no amount of facts that we ever bring to the table will ever be enough to change their mind. I could honestly see Donald Trump being replaced with a body double, and I could see that body double looking absolutely nothing like him. I could see him sending out a dude that really was 6'3", 215 pounds, ripped like Muhammad Ali, and they would probably say that the liberals are lying. That's really him. He's been working out. He's been doing great. You guys are just, that's the type of people we're up against. People says to me all the time, Brando, why don't you get out there and debate these people? That's why. Because they don't live in the real world. They live in a complete alternate reality. Where is the debate when you bring the facts to the table and you give it to people and they won't acknowledge it? How do you debate someone? If I say 2 plus 2 equals 4 and someone says, it's 68, then why should I sit there and entertain that? I understand this idea of getting out of your comfort zone and going into these spaces, but are we really going to sit down with people like that? Is that the way we're going to go about this? Is talking to people who thinks 2 plus 2 is 68, and when we bring the evidence that 2 plus 2 equals 4, they're just going to stick their fingers in their ears? Those are the type of people that we've been up against this entire time. And we've been up against a group of people that has no respect whatsoever for our Constitution. They have no respect whatsoever for democracy. They have no respect whatsoever for anyone out there who they disagree with or anyone's lifestyle that they don't approve of. So we've lived through the most divisive 10 years in American history, and this dude has had every chance to rein it in, and he refuses. He puts his foot down on the pedal of division. and pushes us as far away from each other as he possibly can. And he has absolutely no remorse or no care in the world for anyone else. When he was talking about Joe Biden's health, he said that he didn't care. He literally said he felt no sympathy for Joe Biden. And all we saw the entire time Joe Biden was in office, and we're still seeing it today, is them demand transparency when it comes to Joe Biden. Who's really running the country? Who's really out there? And then Trump just goes missing and ignores the camera. That one's the biggest red flag to me. I mean, he's obviously a habitual liar. So when he says, I'm feeling fine, I've never felt better, I don't believe him. But it's the fact that he has avoided the press. He's avoided getting in front of a camera. Why? Who's really running the country? You see, it's always moments like this where we can flip the script and we can say the exact same thing that MAGA has been saying this entire time. When Joe Biden was in office, all we heard was, who's really running the show? We could ask that, couldn't we? Wouldn't that be a fair question to ask at this point in the game? But no, all they got to do is send send J.D. Vance out there to go, oh, yeah, Trump's the first one to pick up the phone in the morning and the last one to put it down. That part I don't necessarily argue with. He probably is the first one, grabbing a hold of the phone and the last one talking. I'm sure he's the first one speaking and the last one shutting up. I'm sure of that. But there clearly is something wrong with this dude, and we deserve to know what it is. And we deserve to know what we're up against. And, I say that we probably should get used to saying President Vance. That's what I've been thinking about a lot here lately, because I do not trust Donald Trump. I do not trust this administration. They have lied to us about everything. Why would they suddenly be transparent about this one? I don't think for 1 second they will. All they'll do is sit and say, oh, we want to know what was going on when Joe Biden was president. They'll go back and dig that one up. They'll do anything to avoid any accountability. So we have to realize that that's the type of people that we're up against. I know I say that a lot, but you do. You have to realize the type of person that you're up against. There's never going to be a moment where they're consistent. There's never going to be a moment where they hold Donald Trump to the same account that they held Joe Biden or any other Democrat. In MAGA's world, Donald Trump has a special pass. He can do no wrong in their eyes. But the funniest part about all this to me is watching them not say, oh, we're really concerned about Trump. They're not saying that. It's just them trying to own the liberals. And that's all it'll be when he passes away. That's all it's going to be. There's not going to be really any mourning for him. They're just going to be owning the liberals, trying to find a way to do that. Was Joe Biden still alive? Huh? And they'll probably cook up some conspiracy theory. You probably won't see them weeping. You probably won't see them actually crying. They'll just be looking to RFK Jr. to cook up some conspiracy theory that they can take on Joe Rogan and say that Trump was alive and he was spotted at a Burger King. And again, that's the type of people that we're up against. But yeah, I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. I keep checking my phone. Maybe it's cold-hearted. I really don't care, because Donald Trump is the most garbage human that's ever held the office of president. He has absolutely bastardized the office of president. He has sown so much division, and an entire generation is being raised up to think that's normal. We're going to have our work cut out for us for the rest of our lives to try to get the toothpaste to go back in the tube just a little bit, and I don't necessarily think that it ever will. I think that once he's gone, we will still be contending with the problems. And that's the bigger thing. Once he's gone, the problems will still be there. Once he's gone, we're still going to have to work to fix everything that he broke. And we're going to be up against the people who pushed him to break it. Because those people are the ones that are holding him up, propping him up and saying, please sign one more thing before you go. They don't give a shit about him. And his own followers really don't give a shit about him if you really look at it. They don't actually give a shit about him. They just want him to make them feel powerful so they can feel like that they owned me and you. They don't actually love the dude. I think most of them realizes the guy's a piece of shit. He just enables them to be a piece of shit, and that's why they love him.